how much of this is going to be a blame game? So how much of this will lead to Italian politicians bickering and actually not doing enough in terms of the economy and stimulus?
Hi, good morning. Well, I mean, it is going to be bickering, but actually the problem is that the measures that are taken are already very, very significant. And although quarantine is recommended, one has to take into consideration that it's going to paralyze the core part of the country. So you're looking at already at a very significant hindrance to growth. Without probably not much else in terms of stimulus for the economy. Part of it due to domestic politics, part also due to European politics.
Okay, the government imposed a lockdown on an area in Milan of 50,000 people. How will that actually work out, and what does that mean for that region economically?
Well, actually, it's much bigger than just the 11 towns are in lockdowns, because the three key regions, Lombardy, Veneto, and Piedmont, have closed down schools, all types of gatherings, so carnivals, sport events, everything is pretty much shut. So you're looking at an area that usually contributes more than a third of Italian GDP, for only a week. If it's only a week, then the impact is going to be minor. But if we assume that probably this epidemic isn't going to go away by next Monday, then I think a contraction of 1% of GDP in Italy this year is plausible.
I mean, how bad is that for a already fragile Giuseppe Conte administration?
Well, Italian politics is always very, very active, but usually in crisis actually tends to find some order. So in the extent that the fractures in the ruling coalitions have already been evident, but they may come down, and indeed we may not see early elections this year, but I would say in any case is highly unlikely to survive beyond 2021.
I mean, what's a stimulus that would actually be most effective most quickly?
Well, I mean, ideally, people would like to see something like China, although that's not completely viable. But you would want to see fiscal stimulus for companies and a significant credit easing for as well, especially for SMEs. But we are talking about things that are highly unlikely in this situation. That being said, perhaps what could be more likely, more feasible, but still fairly unlikely, it would be if at least the European debate about the fiscal strategy of Europe were to focus more about genuine counter-cyclical stimulus, big enough for the structural challenges, as well as valuing investment in humans, that is public healthcare investment, for example, in this situation.